So Need for Speed Heat is 4 years old, almost 4 years old, and I wanted to do a video because I managed to get this game cheap. I wanted to do an is it worth buying, so that you guys have an idea for if you find it in like a sale. If you just fancy picking up the game at any point, I want to let you guys know exactly what I think of the game and whether I think it's worth buying or not. So we're going to jump straight in. I really like the upgrading system for the car parts in the game. You've got the different rarities and the amount of parts you can upgrade. You can even swap out your engine. You can do all the drivetrain and everything like that. But on top of that, you have these auxiliary parts, which are going to help when it comes to the police in the game, because there is a full-on police system. Within the early levels of your reputation or your rep, that's another system in the game. Within the early levels of it, you can unlock things like radio jammers and stuff. You get like an active and a passive in the auxiliary slots, which are going to help out. They'll stop the police coming after you as often and different things like that. And one of the events you can do in this game is you've got a bunch of different activities. There's billboards, there's like speed traps, you have like these driving stories, then you've got like main story missions and stuff. One of them, as an example, will teach you how to drift. It's called Let It Slide. But the driving stories are like the one that I've done most recently. You follow this guy to the start line of a race. You do a race and he says, if you win one more race after this, I'm going to give you a sweet suspension kit. So you go do that initial race, you win that, you go do the next race, you win that, and you're going to be given a suspension kit for your car for free. Because when you're doing the car parts with their different rarities, you need to unlock new ones to become available in the shop, which is typically done through your rep system, but the driving stories and stuff in the game can give you extra kits for free, because you have the shop and you have your own inventory. And through your inventory, if you've spent money on parts, you can then go and sell them so you can get a bit of money back. But one of the best things about the driving stories for me is the comedy behind them. And I'm playing on medium difficulty, so it's not like the easiest one available. But even being a mile ahead of everyone in the race, you get the dialogue saying, basically the story character, the main character that you're racing against, is saying that they're keeping the race really close. And I found it was quite entertaining to see that sort of stuff being said, because I'm at least a mile ahead of everyone in the race. And I really enjoy that you can't just go to your garage and do absolutely everything from there. You actually have to drive to a dealership to buy cars. And they're not only expensive, but they do have certain rep level requirements so that you can unlock them. So it adds to the sense of progression in the game. You level up your rep, you unlock new things, new cars that are going to be faster, new car parts to make your current car faster, so on and so forth. But not only is it for upgrading and stuff, in order to get to races, you actually have to drive to them. If you find safe houses, there's lots of them scattered around the map. If you find them, you can fast travel to and from them. But when it comes to actual main races, you need to drive to them. And I think that's, I don't know, some players are going to feel like that's padding. They don't want to drive to the races. They want to fast travel and stuff, especially because of how modern racing games go, like the newest ones that have just been released. You can get around really quick. But I know some people are really going to enjoy taking in everything the game has to offer, including driving to the start line of your races. And then, because you have the police system, you've got a day and night system in this game, and the transition, if you go to your map and you click in the left stick if you're on controller, it will transition to, say for an example, you're currently in the daytime, it will transition to night. And I really like the transition. It's actually pretty quick. For a 4-year-old game, it's pretty quick to transition over to that different sort of time. So when it comes to day racing, it's not too risky. They're legal races. You earn some money, you get a little bit of rep, you take on the story missions and everything, and then when you're playing at nighttime, it all changes. You get the heat system in the game, so basically you race and earn as much rep as you possibly can, and you get much more rep for racing during the nighttime, because it goes from legal racing during the day to illegal street racing of a night. You get some money tied in with it as well, but it's way more risky because the police are there. They're well aware of your presence at the nighttime. And not only that, the longer you are out at nighttime doing the racing and stuff, there are different activities and things you can do during the night. But the longer you're out, the higher your heat multiplier builds, which is going to result in much faster leveling for you and unlocking new parts and cars and stuff. But if you are caught, you're screwed over, you lose money and everything, you'll waste that entire night. And the higher the heat, the harder it's going to be to escape from the police. So it's all risk versus reward. You are as risky as you it's basically equal to the reward you want to get from it. And there were complaints when the game first launched about it feeling impossible to escape the police, but they've obviously worked on it in the last 4 years, so it's a lot more balanced now. And then on top of your typical racing and stuff, the community in this game, you can make your own liveries and everything like that. And they've made a lot of cool ones in the last 4 years for all different cars that are available in the game. And you can just take one of the liveries, you can wrap your car with it, so you can make your car look a lot nicer for how you personally want your car to look. But on top of that, you've got a lot of customization. The only downfall to the customization that it's going to cost, you've got things like spoilers, like you can change all your body parts and stuff. You've got colors for your tire smoke, for your backfire. You've got underglow, like your neon under the car. You've got colors for your nitrous. There's not hundreds of different colors available. You do have different, I'm going to say, modes for your underglow. Like you're going to have fireworks, and I think there's like a Christmassy one where it's red and green. But it's typically red, green, or blue for like your tire smoke and stuff like that. So there's not loads of them, but they do only cost in-game money. You're not going to be spending real money on things like that. I'm not sure if there are things available in the store like that, but if you want the things I've just mentioned, you don't have to spend real money on them. They're available with in-game money. And then you do, as well as your circuit racing, your sprints, you have drifts in the game. I'm not a big fan of the drifting mechanic in the game, but the circuit racing, the sprints and stuff, they are all really, really fun. And not only that, if you're in a car like I'm driving a Ford Mustang, if you're in a car that's not set up for drifting, then it's really easy to just slap on the handbrake and slide around the corners. And some of the circuits I've done, at least in recent times, they've had some really tight corners, but it's so easy to just handbrake turn around them. And because of that ease of use with the handbrake, it lets you get ahead of the competition a lot easier, and it lowers your chance of crashing. And when it comes to crashing, a lot of the environment is able to be destroyed as you drive through it, like little barriers at the side of the roads and lampposts and things like that. But you do still need to be careful of things like solid walls and head-on collisions with other cars like traffic, as you are going to take a lot of damage. You do have a damage meter in the game. It's just at the side of your speedometer, and you'll need to drive through a gas station when you find them in order to repair your car. And with all that said, you can get hours and hours of fun out of this game. I do not, however, recommend buying the game at its full price, because on Steam anyway, it's still £60 to buy this game at its full price, even after 4 years of being available. CD Keys do have it cheap. I've checked out on there. Steam and Xbox versions are available. And obviously, I've got a link in the description. I've got an affiliate link for CD Keys. It says get cheap games, and if you use that link, you'll be supporting the channel at the same time. If you buy through there, there's hundreds and hundreds of games and subscriptions and stuff available through CD Keys. The game is on sale for Steam and Xbox that way. But Steam did have a 90% sale on this game, meaning it was £6. And that sale is going to come around quite often. It might not always be 90% off, but it will come around quite often. But not only that, it's available through EA Play. So EA Play, if you want to purchase a subscription, is £4 a month, at least on Steam it is. Unless you have Xbox Game Pass, then with Game Pass, EA Play is tied in with that subscription, so you'll save money that way too. And that's how I typically play games like this. A lot of EA games, I play them through my Game Pass membership, and I do highly, highly recommend this game. It's a lot of fun, but do not purchase it for full price. 60 quid for a 4-year-old game is taking the piss. But I'm going to say this game is easily worth £10 to £15. And if you manage to get the game for that or even cheaper, that's a pretty good deal for a 4-year-old title. But not only that, patience and subscriptions will get you the enjoyable experience that I've had, even cheaper than my recommended price for this game, about £10 or £15. So in my opinion, is it worth buying Need for Speed Heat? Yes, but definitely not at full price. And on that note, we are going to leave the video there. If you enjoyed it, leaving a like is appreciated. If you wish to support me further as a creator, there are links in the description. Let me know your thoughts about the video in the comments. And if you want to watch more, you can click the video on screen. All support on the channel is greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.